What's up, Raiders? Welcome back to the channel. I really hope you're doing amazing because I surely am. Today we have something very important to talk about, and this is namely food farming. Food farming is essential, and I can say that it's like the keyhole to success. If you don't unlock it early, your progress just stays stuck behind the door you can't really open. And I would say it's a big part of progressing in the rate. And the first thing I want to start with, guys, keep in mind, it's very, very essential to know this. You always have to have HP boost activated when you're going to farm food, because without it, it's way slower, you're gaining less XP, and it's gonna take you much more time and much more energy. If you don't have HP boost active, there are a couple of ways you can get it. Don't miss your chance to become a part of my squad in raid and support my channel by clicking on my link in the description right now to get your hands on a free legendary Narma, as well as Anax, Ugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up. Here is what to do. Log out of Flareon Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. And finally, go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Click my link right now and let's get started. The first one is definitely here from your missions, weekly missions, also advanced missions right here. The second way is here when you come to the shop and you click on gem shop, you can actually buy an XP boost for 1 day, which is going to cost you 140 gems. But if you're farming food and at the same time farming points for any tournament, you can actually combine these two, farming food and farming for points and rewards. This is actually the best and most efficient way to farm food. It's gonna be really, really helpful, and those 140 gems are definitely worth it. So this is the first and one of the most important tips I can give you guys, because this helped me a lot. When I was starting out, I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know what this HP, this little sign here, was doing. Of course, you can click on it and read it, but you know, silly me. So I didn't actually know what is this for, and I actually haven't paid attention to that HP boost, and this was all wrong. Like, it took me so much time to level up my food champions, and I was like, bro, what, something is wrong here. Like this shouldn't be taking up so much of your time. And I've actually been right. This cannot take so much of your time, and I'm here to tell you some other tips to, you know, reduce the time and make it less time consuming thing to do in the raid. Now, the second tip I can give you, and this is only for the spenders in the game, there is a Forge Pass raid boost that is actually gonna increase the XP and silver from all battles. This is very, very useful. Also, sometimes, I don't know, that is not here right now, but sometimes from time to time there is a raid card right here, somewhere here in the offers. It might be, but unfortunately no. Yeah, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. There are raid cards sometimes that are gonna increase your XP from all battles with, I think, 20 or 25%. This is extremely useful, but only if you're willing to spend some money on the game. I'm currently not using it. This is actually my free-to-play account, so I have never spent money here on this account. Now, let's move on to the next tip, guys, and this is definitely campaign. Campaign is literally the best place from which you can get XP. And to be specific here, once you have cleared normal difficulty, hard difficulty, and you have reached brutal difficulty, chapter 12, Brimstone Path, the one and only place you want to be farming your food champions. This is chapter 12, stage 3. It literally has the best XP and silver drops. You can actually get a lot of shields that you can then sell for a lot of silver, and this is actually great. So what I'm doing here every single time, so I'm supposing you have started your game with your starter. That might be Kiel, that might be Ethel, Elhain, or whoever, you know? One thing you really need to do at the beginning is level up your starter champ up to level 60, because this is actually gonna help you in so many different ways, especially for farming up your food champions, because what you really need to be doing here is actually put your starter champ, or in this case, I'm not gonna be putting my starter champ, but because I got her like, I don't know, a couple of days after I got my starter, so I decided I would go with Alice to get up to level 60. So you're putting your level 60 starter or another champ of your choice here, and then you're filling up the 3 spaces here with food champs that might be 2-star, 3-star, or 4-star chickens. And a great additional tip that I can give you here, I actually had no idea about that, to be honest. What you really want to be doing is activating super rates. Yes, it's gonna take you twice your energy, but it's gonna double your XP. And at the beginning, I had no idea that when I enable super rates, it's gonna double my XP. Like, I literally thought that it's only doubling the energy spent and also the rewards, but not the XP. And I was completely wrong though. It's actually doubling your XP as well. It uses twice as the energy but grant double the XP and the reward. So when I'm farming food, this is another thing that is really helping me farm food champions faster. So I really advise you to do that, especially when you have a lot of energy stacked up like me right now and you don't have to worry about energy. Of course, if you're low on energy, you might really skip that part, but trust me, it's gonna double your XP drastically and it's totally worth it. Don't ever run into campaign without XP boost active and without enabling super rates. Only one run and our food champions are already level 9, which is great. This is namely because of those 2 specific things. So keep that in mind, that when you don't have enabled super rates and HP boost active, you won't be farming food that fast. So let's turn off the multi battles here and we're gonna be moving into the, I don't know, 3rd, 4th tip already? I don't know. Now, when you come here to the tavern, when you already have leveled some of your food champions, you really want to be upgrading their rank as soon as possible, because that way you are freeing up some space for other food champs, or not food champs, you're just freeing up space. And this gives you more opportunities to get new champions without having to give like gems or silver. So make sure you do that as soon as you get some food champions to upgrade. Another habit that I already have built here when it comes to farming up my food champions, I don't know if you noticed this, but on every food champion that I've got here, I have this little plus sign, and this is really helping me out, especially when I'm here in my vault and I have all these champions, okay? And I'm like, I can easily get distracted and, you know, do a little mistake. Like, for example, mistaking a good champion for food, a champion that is actually not food, and maybe feed them to somebody else. This had happened to me. I don't know about you, but after that happened, I took my lesson and I started giving them this plus sign. You can do that by clicking here on champion tags and you scroll down, you see that support build. I can assure you that's helping a lot, especially if you're a person who can easily be distracted. This helps out a lot. Now we can go back here to the tavern and actually keep upgrading the rank of our champions here. So let's quickly do that. We have a little bit more to go actually. We have one level 30 here that we can upgrade. This is actually amazing. Now, when you're upgrading your champions, upgrading their ranks, one really good tip that helped me out is also you can combine upgrading your champion's rank with a CVC. When a CVC is active, you're gonna collect points for upgrading your champion's ranks. Also, there are other tournaments that are gonna grant you with some rewards and points by upgrading your champion's ranks. So make sure you are also combining the two things. This is gonna be way more efficient. Of course, you can upgrade the ranks of your champions outside of events, but it's not gonna reward you with any points or any rewards. If you're okay with that, you just do that whenever you like. But this is a good tip that helped me a lot, because at the beginning I actually had no idea you can get points from just upgrading your champions ranks, and this is a huge thing actually. Now, do we have somebody else that we can upgrade? Ooh, all right. Let's upgrade this guy here. Now, another thing that I'm doing when it comes to farming up my food champions, do you see all that 1-star champions? So basically, what I like to do to get rid of them, first off, I never upgrade them, never start farming food from level 1, never use those level 1s in campaign. What I like to do before getting them to campaign is taking them up to rank 2. It's way more efficient to start farming food for rank 2 champions rather than rank 1. What I like to do, in case you have a lot of champions here, a lot of 1-star champions, you come here, you select one, and I would like to give them a little upgrade. Use all of these champs just to level them up, just like that. Sometimes I'm using only champions to level them up. Other times, what I like to do, one more, we're done. Other times, a practice of mine is just to use one brew, for example. Here we have a Force Affinity brew, and then I use one champion. And this is gonna take up my Preacher up to level 10. And after I have taken up to rank 2, I'm heading back to campaign and I'm starting to farm stage 3 of chapter 12. I'm putting all the food champs here who are 2 stars, and repeatedly over and over again starting to do that. I think you get the basics of campaign and everything relates to campaign and the tavern. Now I can move on to something else, and this is namely faction wars. Faction wars are very, very important, and I really advise you to do them every single day. First off, you don't need energy to do faction wars. Isn't that great? Like a game mode that doesn't require energy. This is just amazing. Second of all, you are collecting materials that are gonna help you to forge items in the forge, and that's gonna increase your chances for better gear. And this is very, very important, especially in the beginning when you're lacking gear. You don't know what gear is good, what is not. You just go to the forge, craft your items there, and I guarantee you'll get a lot of good gear coming only from the forge and from the fact that you've been farming faction wars. Now here on this account, I actually haven't, I'm not an active player here on this account. The main purpose of this account here was, this is actually a referral account. The main purpose was to reach level 50 here and actually get my fragments for Jamarsa. I only need to make 2 more profiles and I'm gonna be able to acquire Jamarsa. But anyway, sorry for the deviation. Now, when it comes to faction wars, why I'm mentioning it, I currently don't have all the champions, but on my, when I'm farming faction wars on my main account, what I like to do every single time is to actually do a whole team right here, whole team of 5 champions, never leave a single spot, and actually maybe 2 or 3 of the spots depending on which stage you are at and how confidently you can pass through it. You fill those spaces with food champions that need leveling. And of course, faction wars is not gonna give you the XP that, for example, you're getting from a campaign, but it's gonna give you XP to some extent. It's gonna be less, especially in the early stages, but once you are going up the stages, the XP is gonna be drastically increasing. So farming faction wars is a good way of you to be efficient, because at the same time you're collecting materials for gear, and at the same time you can be farming up your food champions. When you combine this with farming campaign, things for you will look different. You would be able to farm up food champs a lot faster, trust me. Oh no, we've got a defeat here, unfortunately. But yeah, this is all about faction wars, something that I like to share it with you. Now about the dungeons, guys. When you're farming dungeons, especially Spider's Den and Dragon's Lair, what you really want to be doing here, and the first very efficient stage you can go into, this is stage 10, because it's the first stage that's gonna give you 4 to 5 star artifacts. Stage 9 is gonna drop 3 to 5 star artifacts. So stage 10, no more 3-star artifacts. So if you can't do stage 13, where you no longer have 5-star artifacts, I advise you to go and farm stage 10. And what I really like to do, but for this purpose, you really need to have one very, very strong champion. In my case, this is Alice. You can also use all of your other 3 champs here, and the last space right here, you can fill it up with a food champion, actually, enabling super rates again. And this would actually help you a lot, because at the same time, you're gonna be farming gear. Meanwhile, you're leveling up your food champion. It's not gonna make the process much slower when you have only one food champion, but it's still gonna help you a lot when it comes to food farming. Food farming is very essential. Now when I'm already four months and a half in, I can tell you that it's extremely essential for your progression in rate. Think of it like building the foundation of a house, okay? If it's weak, everything you stack on top of it will crumble. We have to make sure that we're doing the best we can when we're farming food. It has to be quick, it has to be efficient, it has to be fast, all right? Coming back here to the dungeons, the other dungeon that is very, very important that to grind, this is definitely Spider's Den. First off, because you have accessory drops here, and actually accessories are selling for more than silver, and this means you will get much more silver out of Spider's Den in comparison to Dragon's Lair. So what you want to be doing here is basically the same we did with the dragon. So when it comes to the stages, you really want to be farming the first stage here, stage 10. If you can successfully do that, go farm stage 10 until you can reach stage 13, because it can no longer drop 5-star artifacts, only 4 and 6 stars. So the same goes for spiders as well. You fill up those 4 places with your best champions, for example, and you fill that last place with a food champion. At the same time, you're farming for amulets, banners, and rings, and you're leveling up your food champion here. Hopefully this helps you speed up your progress and stop stressing about food champs. Let me know in the comment section down below who your main campaign farmer is, and if you're still struggling. Don't forget to like this video if you found this helpful, and subscribe for the channel for more raid tips. See you guys in the next one. Bye!